So my sisters, I have older sisters. I was the youngest of, there's 6 of us, but I'm the 5th. And my older sisters are 12 and 13 years older than I am. And they named me, and they named me Aracely. And when I went to school in Stockton, when I entered as a kindergarten, the teacher called me RC. She said, your name's RC, because she couldn't say Aracely. So I was like, okay, that's strange. And then when I moved to Hillsburg in 2nd grade, my teacher said, your name is now Sally. It's not, she couldn't say my name, so she taught me how to write Sally. And so I grew up as Sally. And so that was a really weird experience. It's like, why am I not Aracely? And so I grew up as Sally. All my best friends in Hillsburg, everybody knows me as Sally. And I was embarrassed that I spoke Spanish. I was embarrassed that I was born in Mexico. I never told anybody I was born in Mexico. And every time I accomplished something, I would come home and I would tell my dad, be so proud. And I said, but Dad, everyone thinks always asks me if I'm Italian or if I'm Hawaiian. They never ask me if I'm Mexican. And he's like, no, you be proud that you're Mexican. You tell them that Mexicans can do it too. And I never was like, no, I'm not telling him I'm Mexican, because I was embarrassed, and I felt like there was something wrong with me because they changed my name to Sally, they changed my name to RC, and I was invisible for so long, and so, but he always said, you be proud of who you are. He would say, tienes el nopal en la frente, you have a cactus on your forehead, you can't deny your roots, and I would, and I was like, I don't want anybody to know, this is working for me now. And so for a long time, I didn't accept who I was, and I wasn't proud of who I was, but he kept saying that to me. He's like, he would get upset when I would, tell him that I was embarrassed to be Mexican. He's like, you should never be embarrassed of your roots. And he was such a proud man that, that I'm glad that eventually I learned how rich it is to be bicultural, bilingual. But for so long, a lot of people didn't even know I spoke Spanish. And, that's my first language. I was born in Mexico. And so I think that kind of his advice, it took me a while to really internalize that, yeah, I should be proud, and, I have nothing to be embarrassed about. I live in Hillsburg, and I wanted to be more involved in, even when I was a principal there, and just, community member there, I always felt like there is nobody that's advocating for the Latino community. And I kept wanting people to step up. I'm like, I wish so-and-so would step up. I wish so-and-so would step up, and nobody would step up. And so, so I finally figured, okay, I need to step up. I'm the one that, wants to ask these questions and see some changes in our community. So I realized that, if I want to see those changes, I need to step up. And so I ran for the Hillsburg School Board, and now I'm on the Hillsburg School Board too. So I do this position, I'm on the Hillsburg School Board, and I also really, I guess I'm kind of a problem solver when I see that I want things differently, and I feel like I need to take a leadership role to change things. I also feel that a lot of times our leadership is not well prepared. I don't think that our admin credential programs are that great, and so one of the things that I'm doing now is I'm consulting. I'm a consultant from UC Davis, and I'm one of their mentors for the Northern California Principal Network. So I have 9 principals from Northern California that I mentor at UC Davis. So I do that as well, just because I think it's important to really give our school leaders some good professional development and opportunities to really understand how important their role is for advocating for all students. And so I think in all of the leadership roles that I've taken on, it's because I feel like I can make a difference, or I need to make a difference. I need to be a part of the solution. Everyone be provided. equal opportunity and access. Like I truly in my heart believe that we are shortchanging our students by not believing in them and giving it, like in California, I get so frustrated that we are not funding education like we should, and we're one of the richest states in the nation, but yet we are like at the bottom of the, of the list of the states that fund education. So that's really frustrating. So I would love just to see the education valued more in our nation, and I would love to see that politicians and just everyone in general realize that you guys are our future, that we have to invest in you guys. We don't have a choice. If we don't invest in you and make sure that you're successful and that you are well equipped to, to run the country, I mean, we're dependent on you guys. So we need to make sure that you're successful. Yes, to take risks. That's my biggest, what I hope for, what I tell my boys, what I hope you all will do is that you will prove people wrong, and that you will accomplish more than you thought you could, more than other people thought you could. I want you to take risks. But if you stay safe, if you are fearful and you say, oh, I don't want to be embarrassed, I don't want to do, you will never know what you can accomplish. And so my greatest advice is to take risks, to not regret it later and say, oh, I should have done that, I should have tried that. That would be my words of advice. And to work hard, because nothing comes easy. A lot of times we say, oh, that's too hard, I want to give up, But if that's the easy thing to do, but there's no satisfaction in that. Where you get like sense of pride and you feel like really good about yourself, like if you want to boost your self-esteem, because I know that when you're junior high, when you're a teenager, it's like our self-esteem is, we don't think we're good enough, we don't think we're pretty enough, we don't think we're smart enough, we don't think we're this enough, but unless you try and you push yourself and you move past those fears, you're always going to feel that way. So you have to prove to yourself that you can, that you are good enough, that you are smart enough, that that there are no limits, that you can do anything as long as you work hard, honestly.
My name is Felix Zamora.
I'm Angelina Torres.
I'm Jesus Magana.
My name is Jessica Rodriguez.